Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are fine students. Now students, after completing Grammar Get 5th number chapter, Infinitive, Gerund and Participles, we continue with Honeycomb textbook. So first of all, everybody take your Honeycomb textbook and open Unit number 5, Quality, which is at page number 71. Now students, we'll see here the chapter quality. Now what do you understand by the meaning quality? You know students, when we are going to buy anything, we are watching the quality of that things. Then we buy that things, yes? So here also quality, it's really a wonderful lesson and it's really a suitable title for this lesson. Now look at here. Can a shoemaker be called an artist? Yes, if he has the same skill and pride in his trade as any other artist, and the same respect for it too. Mr. Gessler, a German shoemaker settled in London, is a perfect artist. Read the story to see how he devotes his life to his art. So students, this is a story. This quality story is based, or we can say it's on one of the main character, that is Gessler, Mr. Gessler. And this is a story on shoemaker. The shoemaker is an artist. And you know what is artist? Who is artist? Artist means that the person who is expert in that things, whose art is wonderful, whatever. Suppose that you are very good in cooking, means you are artist for cook. If you are very nice doing any other work, means you are artist for that things. If you are specialist for anything, means you are artist for that things. So here one of the shoemaker who is the artist. Why he is an artist? Because he is making wonderful boots and pride in his trade as any other artist. And he has a pride for his business. He's doing this work with a great hard work. He has a wonderful skill to make these boots. This Mr. Gessler, who belongs to Germany, but he shifted to London. And this person devotes his whole life behind this art only. Means nowadays we know that students, we are getting very different kinds of shoes which belongs to different companies. And nowadays we know that people are not making the boots themselves. Means especially the shoemaker. The shoemaker only something is wrong happened, so they are just bending the shoes. But they are not making the whole shoe themselves, because people are going to the big firms only, big shops only to buy it. But this person who devotes his whole life behind this art only, means whole life he has prepared the boots only. Now let's see this lesson, quality. I knew him from the days of my extreme youth, because he made my father's boots. He lived with his elder brother in his shop, which was in a small by street in a fashionable part of London. Now here I is used for the author. What the author is telling here, that I knew this man, I knew this Mr. Gessler from the days of my extreme youth. Means when I was very small, from that time only I knew this person. Why? Because this person only made his father's boots, so he knows these brothers very well. He lived with his elder brother in his shop. Means they don't have the different home. They are living also in the shop only. They are doing business also in that shop only, which was in a small by street in a fashionable part of London. Now fashionable part means the main part of London. So this shop is located to the main street of London. The shop had a certain quiet distinction. There was no sign upon it other than the name of Gassler Brothers, and in the window a few pairs of boots. The shop had a certain quiet distinction, means the shop has some quality, the same quality, means there is no different things. There is no other sign than Mr. Gassler, only the Gassler Brothers written on the shop. There is no other sign. Now, students, we are going to buy anything from the outside, from the road only. We can easily get that the shop belongs to clothes or shoes or any stationery shop is there, because outside only they are putting many things. If it's a clothes shop, so many clothes are hanging there, and they are doing advertise. They are putting outside on the dummies. Yes, so we can understand that the shop belongs to clothes. We can easily get the clothes there. But here there is no sign. There is a shop of boots. But near on the window, some pairs only put there. And these pairs also not for the advertisement, but these boots which are given order by some people. So that boots only just put there in the window. He made only what was ordered, and what he made never failed to fit. To make boots, such boots as he made seemed to me then, and still seems to me, mysterious and wonderful. So what the author is saying, that whatever boots made by this Gassler, it's really wonderful. It's never failed to fit. Means it's comfortable only. To make boots, such boots as he made seemed to me then, means in a past also, and today also, it's really mysterious, it's really secret that how this person is preparing boots, and it's really wonderful. I remember well my shy remarks one day while stretching out to him my youthful foot. Isn't it awfully hard to do, Mr. Gassler? And here, one of the incident he's sharing with the students, that the author is telling that I remember one day that with the shy remarks, means with my shameful nature, I just say one day to Mr. Gassler, with his stretching out to him my youthful foot. Stretching out means he just pulling out his leg and showing his foot, a small foot. Isn't it awfully hard to do, Mr. Gassler? And what the question asked by author, that it's really not difficult for you, Mr. Gassler, to make a small foot boots like me? And he answered, given with a sudden smile, from out of the redness of his beard, it's in an art. Now look at, he's a German, and he's speaking English, but the essence of his German language is, we can see in this English. It, in place of T, he's using D. It is an art. Means it's not difficult for me to make a boots for you. It's an art I can make for you also. So we can say, students, that it's really making wonderful boots, and he has a confidence to make any size of boots. It was not possible to go to him very often. And what the author is saying, it's not possible to go again and again to his shop. Why? His boots lasted terribly. Means whatever boots are made by Mr. Gassler is a long lasted. It's never torn or it's never become bad. Having something beyond the temporary, some essence of boots stitched into them. And what he's saying, that I feel like this, that some essence of boots stitched into them, stitched into their boots. One went in, not as into most shops, but restfully, as one enters a church and sitting on the single wooden chair, waited. And what the author is saying, the author is describing here how its shop is, he's describing his shop. That whenever we are going there, we are feeling like this, that we enter in a religious place, means in a church, means very silent. and sitting on the single wooden chair. And what we have to do? We just have to sit on the one single wooden chair. Then we have to wait. A guttural sound and the tip-tap of his slippers beating the narrow wooden stairs. And he would stand before one without coat, a little bent, in leather apron with sleeves turned back, blinking as if awakened from some dream of boots. And a guttural sound means a throaty sound. A harsh and throaty sound came. The tip-tap of his slipper when he's coming from the narrow wooden stairs. So that time his slipper's voice also coming like a tip-tap. And he would stand before one without coat. Means he just stand in front of us without coat, because we know very well, students, that English people, Britishers, means English people, white people, are always wearing coat. But here this person who's without coat, little bent, so we can say that the person might be old, that's why, or maybe the person continually sitting to prepare boots, that's why from the back side he become little bent. And he always carrying leather apron, then sleeves turned back, means always we can say folding his sleeves, because as he's doing work, when we are also doing work, if our sleeves are long, we are always folding it, we are always turned back. Blinking. Now what do you understand by blinking? Blinking means to open and close the eyes. So here he is just opening his eyes, means when he's coming from the wooden stairs, that time his eyes are looking like this, that he just opened now only his eyes, as if awakened from some dream of boots, means he just wake up now only from the dream of boots, means he was preparing the boots there. Might be the upstairs where he is sitting and preparing it. So his eyes are looking like this, that he just prepared a boots. He just wake up from the dream of boots only. And I would say, how do you do, Mr. Gassler? And the author always say, how are you, Mr. Gassler? How do you do means, how are you, Mr. Gassler? Could you make me a pair of Russian leather boots? And he always asking this only, that could you make one pair of Russian leather boots? Means he's choosing the leather also when he want to say Mr. Gassler for preparing boots for him. Without a word, he would leave me retiring whence he came. Means he's not speaking anything, he's just listening, and after he's going the same place where from he came. Whence means the same place where he came from, or the other place of the shop, or into the other portion of the shop. Means he's going the same place where he came from, or might be he's going to another portion of the shop. And I would continue to rest in the wooden chair, inhaling the incense of his tread. And here the author is saying that I'm continue just taking rest on the wooden chair and inhaling the incense of his tread. Means that like I'm just taking a smell of his business, like everywhere the smell of boots there. Soon he would come back, holding in his hand a piece of gold brown leather. And after some time, he came back with a piece of gold brown leather. With eyes fixed on it, he would remark, what a beautiful beast. And he continued, eyes fixed means he continued watching that leather, and he was speaking that it's wonderful piece of leather, means it's beautiful piece of leather. When I too had admired it, he would speak again. And when the author is also started to praising this piece of leather, so what he's saying, when do you want them? When do you want them means which time you want this pair of boots? And I would answer, oh, as soon as you conveniently can. Means as soon as it's easy for you. Means on which time you're able to prepare, which time it's easy for you, you can give me on that time only. And he would say tomorrow fortnight. Now tomorrow fortnight means fortnight is the 15 days period of time, students. So from tomorrow 15 days. Or if he were his elder brother, I'll ask my brother. And what it say? If my brother is there, so definitely I asked my brother that on which time we can able to prepare these birds. Then I would murmur. Murmur means I'd speak very slowly. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Gassler. Good morning, he would reply, still looking at the leather in his hand. And while going or while completing something or while left the house, we are also speaking greetings like Assalamu alaikum or Allah Hafiz. So the way he's also saying thank you, and after he's saying good morning. So in a reply of this, Mr. Gassler also say good morning, and after he continuously watching that leather only which is in his hand. And as I moved to the door, I would hear the tip tap of his slippers going up the stairs to his room of boots. And the author was just going back. That time he was again listening the voice of tip tap. Means he's going once again to the dream of boots. Means he's going to prepare the boots on his place. Now students, will continue next time also with that lesson only. Till that, try to understand it, and if you have difficulty, you can ask me in live class also. Take care all of you. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye, and have a wonderful day ahead.